Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video. And I'm just out here making sure that I am live where I would like to be out on my business Facebook page. And just pulling things up so that I can hopefully see if you guys are joining in and watching the video live. If you are, feel free to say hello and let me know that you're here. And if you are, gosh, the video seems kind of blurry. I don't know. Hopefully it'll straighten out. Anyway, but yeah, if it continues to be blurry, let me know and I will see if I can restart it or what we're going to need to do here. But hopefully it looks okay for where you guys are. So, okay, good. People are joining. I see Elisa's here and Jerry's here and Denise and Nancy and Myrtle. So yay, thanks so much for joining in today. And hopefully you're all good and doing well where you are today. Roz is here too. So thanks again for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. So I have a pretty simple card to share with you today, but it's got some fun new things on it. So, hey, Marilyn, glad that you're here, and Beth as well. So, and Meryl, yay, okay, Christmas, good. I'm glad. Oh, good, it's not blurry for you. Okay, because it looked a little fuzzy on my screen initially when I turned on the video, and I thought, uh-oh. So, all right, and Mary is here as well. And good morning. Yeah, I guess it's afternoon here, but yeah, morning still where you are. So, all right, so today, and Tracy is here as well from Ottawa. So, yay, okay. So, today we're going to be making this card, and I'm sure that the video is not going to catch it and show you. Hey, Rosie and Anna, I'm glad you're here as well. The video is probably not going to catch it as well as it is really as sparkly as it is in real life. Say, and Kathleen and Debbie, I'm having a terrible time talking today. So thanks again for joining. So this is new Balmy Blue Glimmer Paper from the upcoming August to December 2020 mini catalog, and it is like so sparkly. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just so pretty. So hey, Karen, glad that you're here today. So it's beautiful glimmer paper. So, and again, it's the kind that doesn't shed, which I love. So you can, don't have to worry about everything being, hey, Patricia and Deb. So thanks for joining from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Got your catalog yesterday. I'm jealous. I still don't have mine. I have the ones that I ordered and got in my order, but still don't have my demonstrator copy yet, but it'll get here, so I'm not worried. So, but yeah, it's beautiful paper, and hopefully you can see it in the video. Again, I'll try to tilt it so that the lighting is a little different on it. So, got your catalog last night. Good, glad to hear it. So, tilting it so the lighting is a little different. This is a new embossing folder that I've used. It's the Evergreen 3D embossing folder from the upcoming catalog as well. So, lots of good stuff here on it. And then the little gem that I've got on here is from the new catalog as well. So, that is what we're going to be playing with today. The Snowflake Wishes stamp set I actually used to decorate the inside of it, the stamp set itself, and the dies we'll talk about in 1 second. So this is the stamp set, which is fantastic, and I love it. So definitely a good one. So very pretty, some great snowflake images, some good sentiments in it. Again, some that are more winter related and not necessarily Christmas. And there's a Hanukkah set or stamp in here as well. So definitely a little bit wider variety in this one. And it's a photopolymer stamp set, and it's a big one. So then we have the So Many Snowflakes dies. So these are two of them on here are a little different. This one and this one and this one all cut out stamped images. So the images obviously in the stamp set are bigger than what they show on the case. So we've got a couple of the dies. This die cuts out this image, this die cuts out this image, this die cuts out this image, I believe. So the other dies in here are not they don't cut out any specific image. So this one actually cuts out the snowflake that I've got here on the card front, so you're going to get to see and play with that one. Good. Oh, I see Jeanette's here. Yeah, Myrtle, Meryl, the catalogs are actually, mine are still, I'm waiting impatiently for them to ship out, but I will be shipping them out to my customers just as soon as I get them. So no worries there. You'll get a catalog. Don't worry. I don't have them yet. So I'm waiting for them to ship out from Stampin' Up impatiently. So, all right. So that is so this is our card stamp set and the dies. Sorry, I was talking about that and then got distracted about catalog discussion. So a couple of the dies in this set actually work a little bit differently than the typical dies do. They actually cut out of the background panel So they aren't designed to cut out. This one, it cuts out a snowflake, but it puts it into the background panel. So it's like the negative image that's left behind that you get when you use the largest of the snowflake dies on here. And then this label die, I'll go ahead and just lay it down on the paper, which is probably easiest to see that way. And you can disregard my little hacked up piece here. This is just a piece of scrap paper that I had that was darker in color, so I knew you'd be able to see the die cuts on it. So, so this die is actually, it's a label die, and it cuts out again, it cuts out in stitches around the edge, and you can do shaker cards and fun stuff with it. You can stamp a sentiment on the background panel and cut out the front panel, the layer over the top of it. So there are lots of different things you can do with this. I just didn't want you to be confused when you looked in the catalog, because initially when I looked at it, I thought this cut out an actual, like you'd stamp here and it would cut this and then you take this and put it on your card front. It does not work that way. So it's a little different, which is, it's cool. So anyhow, just wanted you to be aware of that with the die set. Also on this card front, let me set this aside too. I used the Evergreen 3D embossing folder, which is absolutely beautiful. This is one of the first things in the catalog that made it on my list of absolutely must have. So a great 3D embossing folder. So I use that on the background. We also used the stitched shapes dies. I just used one of the circles to die cut a little circle over here that we layered on the card front. And then the sentiment is actually, and I'm terrible at saying this, so hopefully I'll say it right, the Toile Christmas stamp set, and actually the coordinating dies that go with it, the cardinal dies. So this is a sentiment that we're using today, and then here we've got the die that coordinates with that. So that's what we'll be using for our stamping and our die cutting today. So, all right, the label die coordinate with the stitched labels die. With a label die according with this, you know, that would probably have been a good thing for me to check, but I didn't. It probably would. I'm sure that there are dies that are going to layer over the top of it nicely, but I haven't done a lot of investigation. I just didn't, just hacked it out of the background so that you could see how it worked. So anyway, but I'll check that out and I'll let you know what I find. So, all right. One quick thing before we get going. Bonus days is going on right now. So for every $50 that you order between now and August 3rd, you're going to earn $5 off coupons that can be redeemed on orders placed from August 4th to the 31st. So that's any type of orders. That includes demonstrator orders as well. So if you join and become a demonstrator, you also get the coupons. I have collected a fair number of them with my pre-order. So anyhow, so let me know if you have any questions about that, but just wanted to make sure you were aware of that. So I will set that aside and we will get going on the card. So again, like I usually do, I've done some of the work ahead of time so you didn't have to sit and watch me, watch the blank screen as I was embossing a panel, which isn't terribly exciting to do. So this has been embossed with the Evergreen 3D embossing folder. Again, this is Whisper White cardstock and is cut to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And all of this will be out on my blog tomorrow, so you can take a peek at it, stampwithamyk.com. I'll be posting all of the cardstock cuts and everything, so you can take a peek at it out there. And I'll also link it up in this video, in the description of the video, so you hopefully will be able to see that as well. So, all right, so I've got a panel of 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White cardstock. Just going to use a little of the Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to run it around the edge here of the flat piece of cardstock. And the reason that I do that, instead of putting it on the back of the embossed piece, is to, because I can sometimes get a little aggressive with my pressing of the seal or of the adhesive on the back, and then sometimes it sort of smashes the embossing. So that is what I'm trying to avoid by putting it on the background piece instead of on the back of the embossed panel. So, all right, just adhering that together with a little Stampin' Seal. I'm going to set it aside for 1 second and pull out a couple of other pieces that I've pre-cut. This is, again, Whisper White cardstock, and I cut it with the second to the largest of the stitched shapes dies, the circle die from there. Hey, Heather, I'm glad that you're here as well. And then this I pre-cut, again, from that really pretty balmy blue glimmer paper that will be available starting on August 4th in the catalog, in the new catalog. I'm just going to use a little bit of the multi-purpose hopefully, liquid glue. I really need to get a new bottle of this out, but it's one of those things that I don't use a ton of it, so I forget often that my bottle is getting a little low. And again, just putting some little dots on that. And if I were thinking ahead, which I was not when I was busy die cutting everything, I would have probably used the adhesive sheets on the back of this just because it's kind of a delicate die cut, and would have been easy to put those on so that it's easy to adhere without the glue and without having to sit and hold it for a second like I'm going to have to do here. But I forgot. So when you are doing it, use the adhesive sheets and it'll be easy to adhere. So that's my little tip, even though I forgot to do it myself, because once you've already die cut it, it's too late. You can't really put the adhesive sheets on the back of it. Maybe there's a way, but I don't know how. So, all right, then we're going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and we're going to adhere this to the card front. All right. Hey, Rosemary. Yes, it's beautiful, 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 sweet. So, and I see Linda's here as well, and you love balmy blue. So, yep, it's a good color. And that glimmer paper is just, wow. That is all that I can say about it. It's just, I feel like it's even more sparkly than our normal glimmer papers are, which is saying a lot because they're pretty sparkly. So, all right. So next up, I have got a sentiment here that I'm going to do a little bit of heat embossing with. And I've got, again, it's from the Toile Christmas. We're going to be using the Versamark ink because we're heat embossing it. So I'm just going to tap this here and get it inked up. And as you can see, this was my piece of paper that I did a little die cutting from for this very card earlier. So let me set that aside and get some silver Stampin' Emboss powder. Hey, Barbara, I'm glad you're here. So let me get the silver embossing powder and put it on the sentiment here. And all right, I think that looks pretty good. I will close that up because I am known to spill embossing powder everywhere if I don't put the lid back on. I'm going to pull out the heat tool, and as you've probably heard me talk in one of my videos before, the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has two settings on it. The first one is for drying, so level 1 is drying, and level 2 is actually heat embossing. So it does take a second to heat up, but I put it on the level 2 setting because we are heat embossing here. And just going to let it do its magic here on screen. While it's working, I'm going to let you know that I'm doing a double reward points ordering special right now. So anything that you order for me, an order of $50 or greater, placed through my online store, you're going to get double reward points from me. So if you are thinking about ordering anything, go ahead and put in your order and you get double points. So that's a nice little bonus. So you get to free merchandise from me a little faster. So, all right, so we have got, you know what? I see a little spot that I missed on my heat embossing. Apparently I was busy talking and not watching what I was doing. Let me get the last little piece because I want to make sure I don't make a mess of it. Yep, that looks better. All right, I'm going to let it dry for a second, and then I'm going to pull out the coordinating die here, and hopefully if I've put it the right way around, I'm going to just run this through the die cutting machine really quickly, so I'll step over here for a second. Hey Barbara, I see that you're here as well, so thanks for joining. Hope that you all are having a good Tuesday. It's kind of a sticky day here, a little sweaty and hot, but that's okay. I guess it's summertime. So, oh, you can emboss on the glimmer paper or the shimmer paper. I'm not sure. Is it glimmer paper you can emboss on? I guess I've never tried that, Meryl. I'm going to have to give it a try now that you say it. So I've done it on foil sheets before, and you have to be a little careful if you're going to emboss on foil sheets. You have to kind of go quickly, but I know you can do it on foil sheets, but I'll have to back to the Georgia roots with that one, I guess. I know you could do it on foil sheets, but I'll have to try it on the glimmer paper and see how it looks. So. All right, so adding a few Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of my sentiment, and we're just going to put it right over here over the bottom of the snowflake, hopefully somewhat centered. And then I'm going to pull out some of the new blue adhesive-backed gems. There are two different colors. One is a little bit lighter blue, one is a little bit darker blue, and these again are from the upcoming August to December 2020 mini catalog, which will be available for ordering starting on the 4th of August. So I don't know if you caught that on the dates, but your coupon codes that you're earning right now from Stampin' Up, you actually you can redeem those on orders from the new catalog. So that's kind of an awesome little deal that Stampin' Up! Has going on, that you can purchase items now and get coupon codes for the new catalog items starting in August. So just using a couple Stampin' dimensionals, and I'm going to adhere this to a thick Whisper White card base. My original card was cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and scored 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. This card base, I just did a different orientation. It ends up being the exact same card front size, but this one is cut to 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. So there we are. The card front is all done on it. So I'm going to flip it over here and do a little stamping on the inside, and we will be all done with this card. So I've got the sentiment from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set in a little balmy blue ink. Going to open that up here and stamp the sentiment quick on a piece of Whisper White cardstock. The cardstock is cut to 4 1/4 by 4 by 5 1/4. Again, anything I say in the video for sizes, you probably want to check it on my blog post tomorrow, because I am notorious for telling you the wrong sizes in the video, but the right ones will be posted on my blog. So and then I've got one of the snowflakes from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. I'm going to stamp it here on scrap paper quick, and then stamp it here next to the sentiment. And that's going to be all for the inside of the card. I'm going to close up my ink pad before I make a mess with that. And then just going to use a little Stampin' Seal to adhere that inside the card. And I don't know if you're watching the technique that I'm using on a Stampin' Seal. I'm finding it to work pretty well. Just doing a little, kind of rolling it over and flick at the end. And that seems to keep the adhesive in the right spot for when you use it the next time. So, and it rolls on really easily, nice and smooth, and I'm loving it. It's way stickier than our other adhesive was. So I love that part. So, all right, so got that adhered to the inside of the card base. Going to close this up and do a quick crease with the bone folder, hopefully, if I can steer straight. And that is all for my card share today. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this is one of the suites that'll catch your attention in the new catalog. It's definitely beautiful. And again, I love the embossing folder. I can't wait to use that again. So anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks so much for joining today. I will plan to be back on my YouTube channel at 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday, and back here again on Facebook Live at 2 o'clock Eastern Time next week, Tuesday. So thanks so much for joining today. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, and I will chat with you all soon.